Hey Virgos, welcome to Tower and Heal. Lisa here. I hope all is well. Welcome to your September reading. Whoops. Almost flashed you. Alright. Let's get started. I come to you humbly, God. Thank you for your divine guidance, providing messages of divine light, divine love in accordance with your divine will. What is it that the Virgo Collective need to know for September? What do they need to know for September? Okay, we have trust, we have dare to dream, and self-love. Okay. When I was meditating on your energy, I did feel like, okay, the energy of like, oh, here we go again. Another setback, or, you know, something like that. That's what I was feeling. If you're feeling that, there's a need to, I know you're tired of, it's a broken record. That's an energy like, oh my God, I'm on this fucking merry-go-round. Trust, believe, okay, like I get it. Like how many ways do I have to dream? How many times, how many different avenues do I need to go down? How many times do I have to stay strong? You know? There's a need to trust and believe. All right. It seems like there's another roadblock. All right. I feel like there's a divine pause here. We do have the self-love coming out. I feel like there's a need for you to get more in touch with the physical things. Some of you guys might have been on the go, chasing a dream, chasing a thing, whatever it is that you wanted. And now it's time to you put in enough energy, okay? What people don't realize sometimes, that part of like the law of attraction, part of manifesting, is the rest at the end, okay? After you ask for it, and after you put in the work, you do the affirmations, the visualizations, and all that, there's a need to let go of the dream, let go of the manifestation. So it seems like this is a time where you need to let go, like forget about it and focus on other things while it's still cooking up. The things that you might be led to distract yourself in. Oh, this is your birthday season too, right? Happy birthday. There's a need for you to get more in touch with the physical, like your body, treating yourself, pampering yourself. When you eat food, even as simple as like while you're eating food, tasting the food, okay? Really savoring the taste on your tongue, okay? When you're lotioning yourself, really feeling the texture of your skin, all right? Things like that. There's a need for you to get in your body, all right? Get rooted. Okay, get grounded. If you can, take some time out in nature, or even just stare at the clouds, okay? While you're doing that, inhale. What do you smell? There's a need to get in touch with all 5 of your senses and ground yourself in your current reality, because I feel like there's been an energy of like chasing something, and you haven't, everything's just been a blur. And you haven't really enjoyed the sweetness or the honey of life, okay? I know that's cliche, but I really feel like that's what needs to happen. You have to stop and smell the flowers a little bit. Because the frantic energy of chasing is the quickest way to push something away, all right? You've done enough work. You've told the universe what you wanted, okay? Speaking of that honey energy, you told the universe what you wanted. And they heard you, okay? Now it's time for you to have faith. The faith enough to let go, the courage to let go and just enjoy yourself. Like, I remember I had a friend tell me, like, she didn't know where her next job was going to come from. She got she applied to a bunch of jobs, right? And instead of worrying, she went on vacation. Instead of worrying about who was going to call her back, she went on vacation, and she just enjoyed herself on that vacation. And when she was on vacation, she got a call like, hey, we want you to come in. And that was a job that she ended up getting. Okay. So that's the best illustration of how the laws of attraction works. Okay. There's a need at the end of really putting your order and putting in the work and doing all you can do. Now it's time to just relax and enjoy the sweetness of life, the life that you do have. Count your blessings. Okay, now it's time for you to get in an attitude of gratitude, knowing that you're happy anyway. Okay, but also be grateful for the blessings coming your way as well. All right. Speaking of the sweetness of life, we do have the Six of Cups coming out with the Nine of Cups. The Six of Cups is a sweet energy, okay? If this is a connection, this is a very sweet, loving connection. It's a spiritual connection. It's coming out with the Nine of Cups, all right? This can be childhood energy too, something that makes you feel like home, something that makes you feel warm and fuzzy. Coming out with this Nine of Cups, you already put in your order for whatever it is that makes you feel, whatever your wish fulfillment is, okay? And it's coming. Wow. We have the Empress coming out. Speaking of kid energies, I don't know if some of you guys either pregnant with an actual life or pregnant with desire, okay? Pregnant with manifestation. I'm trying to work out this lighting for you guys, but you get it, okay? That's coming. This is beautiful energy. Some of you guys are bringing it down with the Ten of Wands, though, okay? That burden of when is it going to happen. It's like, look at all this beautiful energy here. The universe got your back. They got you. They heard you, all right? You're creating more of a burden than it needs to be. There's no burden here. There's no burden here. The path is clear. Now it's just a matter of waiting for it to come in. Don't give up. The shift in perspective, the shift in mindset that needs to happen. There needs to be an attitude of gratitude here. There's a need, the best way. We talked about the quickest way to push manifestations away. The quickest way to bring it in is by being grateful for the blessings you do have, because that's what will attract more blessings. Okay, so as you're like meditating, or as you're like, just be more mindful. You know, whatever experience that you're having, if you're eating like really good food, just be grateful for that good food. Like, wow, I'm just so happy for this great food. Even if it is ramen noodles, you better season that thing up. Put some Laurie's and some, I don't know, whatever it is. There's a need to act from a place of love. There's a need for you to fill yourself up with more love, so that you can attract more love if that's what you're trying to attract. So you can attract more passion. Jesus, the overthinking. Get out of that, okay? That's not the wave. What is it happening? What am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong, okay? You put in the order to the universe heard you. Now it's just time to chill out. Okay, you might be a little bit too frantic and you're pushing things away. Or even if it's like right around the corner, you might not be able to see it because it doesn't look like what you think it's supposed to look like. All right, there's a need for you to be more flexible, be more open, but also be in a state of love, because that's a receptive energy. Okay, it's a receptive energy for whatever blessings need to come in. All right. If something isn't panning out the way you want it to pan out, there's a need to be grateful for whatever it is, okay? Find the good. That's going to bring more of it. You're manifesting something, right? I'm sure you're seeing signs of something, okay? So whatever hints you're getting, you know that something is moving and shaking. And even those little manifestations, be grateful for those, you know, because that's going to help you. One, first of all, when you see those little signs of manifestations, when you see certain things shifting, for example, you might have a new mindset towards a partner. Like, let's say you finally got over someone who you were struggling with, someone who was kind of baby soulmate. Let's say you finally got over baby soulmate, okay? And you finally got the strength to move on. Be grateful for that. That's a manifestation that you created. Okay, because when you see those little manifestations, be like, yeah, I did that, I created that. You know, that's going to keep giving you the courage and the ammo and the motivation to continue on this path of manifesting. All right, I think that's a good practice. Recognizing when you see a manifestation, be like, yeah, I did that. Or I'm great and I am so thankful and grateful for that. There's a need to recognize it instead of like, yeah, but I want more, you know. All right. Yeah, the overthinking is stopping the upgrade. For some of you guys, it's wish fulfillment. It might not come in the package that you might expect, okay? And some of you guys with the Four of Pentacles, you might have already manifested it. And you can't see it because you are... because you have to be more flexible here. We did the King of Swords coming out, okay? Major clarity. Being logical about what your manifestation is. Here's an example. If you put in the order for a certain type of love, you wanted a certain type of connection, like, yeah, I want us to be spiritually yoked. I want emotional reciprocity. You want this and that, whatever the case is. They have to volunteer on the weekend, whatever, all right? They have to be an animal lover or whatever the thing is, whatever your things are, all right? You might be surprised that they'll come through. You might have an idea of like what your type is, but they might come through as a different race or different gender. You know, whatever the case is. You know, something like that. Like, I feel like for some of you guys, the manifestation is right under your nose. Okay, but, and you're still looking around like, where is it? Where is it? Because it doesn't look like the package. Okay. And that's stopping you from moving into that, actually accepting it. For some of you guys, it's just a mentality that you have to be in an attitude of gratitude to actually draw it in, okay? While you're in this waiting period. Either way, it's a mentality. There's a need to be more receptive by being in a high vibe energy. To accept this high vibe manifestation, this loving energy. There's a need to pat yourself on the back for all the work that you've done. Empress energy, that's Virgo right there. All right, you did it. You probably just don't realize that you did it. Yeah, you don't realize you did it because you're still looking back. The burden that you're carrying is, you know, this narrative. It's a narrative that you're still carrying. That's the only thing that's holding you back now. This narrative with the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, that's like past energy. It's past energy that is that wasn't giving you equal reciprocity. But we have the Six of Cups right here, coming out with the Nine of Cups. You're in the frequency to accept yummy energy. This is Six of Cups upright. You're no longer experiencing Six of Cups in reverse energy. You're experiencing very beautiful, like, soul tie energy, okay? You're in a frequency to experience it now. Like, that's a cycle. That's a frequency you're on, all right? So why are you still looking back and dwelling on the fact that, oh, this story of every time I try to love someone, they do this and that and that, not realizing that's not your story anymore. It's not. There's a need for you to shift and realize that. This Page of Swords is a sharper new mentality in this new chapter. There's a need to realize you're no longer that person. You stepped into it. You graduated. All right? Now the universe is like, Spirit is staring at you and just waiting. Like, do they even know where they are now? Do they recognize that they're in their manifestation? How's this Page of Swords here? It's like so in your head. You're so in your head. That's why there's a need for you to get into your body. Get more in touch, because it's like if you stop and smell the roses, if you stop to really just feel yourself and love on yourself, if you stop and look around, you'll realize that your manifestation is there. Okay? Even if it's like, you might realize that you have a new level of confidence. You might realize that you no longer, certain people no longer have a hold on you. Okay? You might realize that you do things a little bit easier now. You might realize that your manifestations come in quicker. You know, things like that. It's certain things. You're looking for one big shining moment to tell you that you're in a new stage, and that's not how it works. It's very subtle. So you already finished a race. You ran the race, but you didn't realize it. You didn't notice that you ran through the ribbon. You're still running on a track, and it's like, yeah, you ran through the ribbon already. Like, the race is done. All right. You might still be caught up in regrets of the past, like, oh, I used to be this way, and or yeah, there's some way that you used to be. All right, and that might be stopping you from like moving forward. Yeah. You have the Queen of Pentacles energy coming out. Very grounded Capricorn energy here. All right. That's the energy that you need to be. Okay, look. You went through some things. You've gained a lot of wisdom, okay? And now it's time to build your kingdom based on this wisdom that you've gained. It's time to look forward and no longer look back at the pain. It's time for you to no longer look back at why someone did this to you, or why you've dealt with this type of situation, or why you keep attracting. You're no longer attracting that. That's done. That narrative is done. You're just going to literally have to make a choice. I'm stopping. I'm going to drop that. And I'm going to move forward. It's literally a choice to move forward. Whether you get the closure from baby soulmate or from your parental figures, because I know in the last reading we were talking about parents, okay? Whether it's that, whether you get the closure from them or not, I think I also mentioned this in the last reading, you shouldn't depend on them for closure. You can't right now. Right now, you're strong enough and wise enough to actually give yourself the closure, okay? To tend to your inner child, if that's what needs loving, okay? There's a need for that. There's a need for you to say, you know what? I'm going to let bygones be bygones. They can stay where they're at, and I'm going to move forward now. Not like, I wonder if they'll get better. I wonder if they change. I wonder if they still think about me. You can't. You have to just let it go. Drop it. Drop it. It's a burden. It's a burden that's stopping you from really embracing this energy that you're already in. Empress, Nine of Cups, Six of Cups energy, wish fulfillment energy. The soil is fertile for you to grow whatever it is that you want to grow, whatever it is that you want to build. And it's a very heartfelt place. It's a 1818. It's such a loving energy that I'm feeling here. So maybe you want people to come with you. You still want the people from the past to come with you. You have to drop that. You have to sacrifice that, all right? Let's see what the blockages are, what you're failing to see. And what's the overall advice. It's like what I mentioned in the full moon in Pisces reading. I was saying I have a very clear place that I want to be, where I want to be, what state I wanted to be in. I ended up in another state, right? It's not the state that I wanted to be in, but I'm like getting the message that this is where you're supposed to be. So I'm like, okay, if I could have stuck to my guns, right? And been like, no, this is where I want to be, you know. But when I really stop to look at it, I'm like, oh, I can actually do the same thing that I want to do there. I can do that here. And more efficiently and probably easier and more affordable, you know. So It's that type of energy, because when I first got here, I was just like, yeah, I'm not staying here. So there's a need for you to look around and really appreciate the beauty of your manifestation. I didn't realize that, you know, as I was chasing what I thought was my manifestation, I didn't realize that the stop in between that I thought was my pit stop was actually my manifestation, you know. So there's a need to recognize your manifestation by taking time out, taking a step back, and really like having an attitude of gratitude. You might realize that you actually are experiencing the thing that you wanted, okay, or that it's on the way. Like if you're looking for a certain type of love, you might realize that you actually have this love in certain friends, right? Like if you were looking for love in family, you might realize that you have a soul tribe where you're getting that type of support, all right? There's a need to see things clearly, yeah. With the King of Swords and the Seven of Wands here, this is coming out as a blockage. There's a need to see how much you're winning, yeah. The Seven of Wands is about winning. Oh, this light. Well, I appreciate the sun. But yeah, this is a need to realize how much you're winning, actually. The reason why you can't see your win is because you're still focusing on the past, the hurt of the past, all right? There's a need to open your mind. What are they failing to see? Well, speaking of that social circle, Three of Cups energy. This is happy social life energy, okay? You have support. You have more love in your life than you realize. You have more support in your life than you realize, all right? You might be looking for love or support from one specific person. Wow, with the Ace. Okay, I guess I went on that rant about my life for a reason, because now here we are. Okay, the cards are showing it. Three of Cups with the Ace of Cups here. Some of you guys were looking for love from a specific person, not realizing how many people were there, how you weren't realizing that you were able to experience love, the same type of love or the same depth of love in a different capacity and from a different person, okay? So it's like it was confusing. It was an illusion. This Ace of Cups in reverse along with the Seven of Cups. It's a cup that you have to reject. You have to toss out. It's a certain love offer. Not a love offer. There's a love option or something like that, or a path of passion that you have to kind of nick. You have to sacrifice. Look at all these cups. We have Three of Cups, Ace of Cups, and Seven of Cups here coming out in reverse, okay? There's some real ones around you. There's some real manifestations around you. There's some real opportunities around you. And that's what you're failing to see. Once you look around, that's going to be a tower moment. That epiphany is going to be an epiphany for you. And that epiphany is going to be different for everyone. Like for me, it was, oh, that cup was that state, right? The state that I wanted to live in. And I ended up in a different state. And that ended up being my manifestation. And for, you know, reasons that I may not know, this state might be better than the other state that I had in mind. The other cup. This cup is better than the other cup that I had in mind, you know. There are some illusions surrounding that, all right. The pursuit of that cup is what brought me to this cup being states at this point, right? But you can replace that with, you know, a love, a certain type of person that you wanted. You might have been chasing after someone, and then you realize that, and they never like really gave you the time of day, but they might have a friend. they might somehow, like through them, you might meet someone, and you're like, oh wow, it wasn't them that I wanted. I was being led to this person, but it was because they knew my person, you know, and I had to get through them to get to that person. You know, it's something like that. It's like some type of illusion happening here. That's why it's a need for you to just chill out and like just start going with the flow here, all right? When you realize that, that's going to be a major tower moment, a happy one, because you're going to realize that you have your manifestation, okay, or that it's been there all along, you know, something like that. or that you finally, you don't, yeah, that your manifestation is here. What's the advice here? Yeah, Ace of Wands. Look at that path of passion. All right, that gift of passion here. You close one out and then you open up another with the Ten of Swords here. Ending of that cycle. It's a new day. Ten of Swords coming out in reverse. That's dropping that cycle of pain. All right, it's over for that. All right, the pain is done. All right. Oh, doggies. What's the power animal for Virgos for September, for the first half of September? Thank you. Owl spirit. Yeah. You see clearly now. Butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. Koi fish spirit. There's always enough. You're not doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong happening here. Okay, you did put in the order to the universe. You're not bugging. Whatever signs you got, they are correct. Okay, it's just a shift in mentality that needs to be had. You keep looking back at the past and you need to look forward, because if you look forward, then you'll see. Or if you look around, look in the present, look in your reality, you might see a path that's lit up for you. Okay, there's a need for that. Your the trust card with you see clearly there's a need for you to trust in your relationship with spirit here. Okay, trust in your intuition, trust in your gut instinct, because it is on point. All right, I'm gonna pull from the Romance Angels deck and see what's up. What do the Romance Angels have to say? Shuffle. Of course, calling in your soulmate. Yeah, it's happening. All right. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Yeah, you're bringing them in. Okay, the universe heard you. The universe, you did the work. The universe knows. And if you haven't done the work, then affirmations, visualizations will bring you two together. All right. But at the end of this, the thing that makes it effective is the faith part, the trust part, the letting go. Like, this is what I want, universe, and Vini Vini Vici, and like just let it go and have fun and enjoy the love that you do have from your social circle. You know, enjoy the love that you do have here. Okay, because a soulmate is going to come in with that type of chill, loving energy. All right. For some of you guys, this is very much a romantic reading. All right, Virgos. Let me know what you think. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment, add me on IG. That's Tara on Hill. I do personal readings. Check out the info box below for that. All right. If you want to be an angel donor and support the kids, okay, you can check out the Patreon link below. Thank you so much for the patrons so far. All right, and until we meet again, peace.